Okay, what's up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the channel, enjoying the streams, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Make sure you check out the Elevating Traders Discord channel, completely free to join. Link to that at the top of the chat. You can't miss it. There will be discount opportunities when we do launch, so make sure you check that out so you don't miss out. And of course, you can join in discussion, share trading opportunities. I do as well. So if you are interested, make sure you do check it out. But guys, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone's well this Wednesday morning. Manzondi, welcome to the stream. Tashi, good morning. Hope you're good. Faisal, good morning. Faisal. I hope you're doing good. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. So, still currently in my two trades from a while ago. Still holding on to Aussie CHF, which hasn't really gone anywhere since we last spoke. Actually, no, we did have a bit of retracement. Yeah, we did come into this area. This is when I went to break even. We had a bit of a bounce off that level. Looks like the market is looking like it's forming a lower high. It's come back to some areas here on the left, and it's finding it hard to break through, which is good for me, of course, because I'm still looking for a lot more downside for Aussie CHF. My stop loss is trailed at break even, so I'm giving it kind of its maximum room for it to breathe. And I like the 4-hour close there of the wick to the upside, showing some nice rejection. So I'm hoping we can see some continuation. And if you go and break the low here, then I probably will trail above the high there and see if we can get back to 0.56. But I'm still holding that Aussie CHF trade, and I'm still holding pound yen as well, which again isn't moving well. It hasn't really gone anywhere as well since we last spoke. It's been a bit of a bounce off that level, and we pushed up, but hasn't really set the world alight. So again, it's not looking good for the pound yen trades. Probably you're going to find support and probably push up. But as I said, I've got my stop loss here, which I put in when I took the trade. So I'm just going to let the trade play out, see if it's going to take me out for a loss or it's going to come back around to the downside. I'm just going to let that trade do its thing. But yeah, definitely not looking good. Aussie CHF is very much in a better place. So going to see what happens with those two positions. Aussie CHF looking a lot better. Pound yen not looking too hot. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I was having my eyes on some of the USD pairs, particularly ANZ/USD, and I completely forgot we had the New Zealand interest rate decision last night. So I was waking up this morning looking to see if I can get some buys on ANZ/USD, but we had this big drop. Well, it's not really a big drop. It's a reasonable drop, but we had a big move past this low here, which broke through that support, and that was the level I was looking to buy from. So now that interest rates have came out bearish for NZD, strong break of that low. Unless we recover, I'm not going to be looking to buy NZD USD anymore. Really, yeah, that kind of was the level at which I was looking to place my long positions, and now it looks like price is breaking through. That's kind of invalidated my trade. So unless we come back above and we see a really strong recovery of that level, I may just be looking to sit on the sidelines. I'm still going to keep an eye on Aussie dollar longs. Still want to see a bit more downside for this one, and then the buys come into play. But yeah, NZD USD looking really bearish. Of course, the NZD interest rates really helping out with that. You can look across the board. All of these NZD pairs, big moves to the downside. Pound NZD, big move up. NZD CHF, somewhat of a move down there as well. Same with NZD JPY to a degree, but still hasn't broken that support level. So yeah, NZD USD was at the top of the list in terms of next trade to take for myself, but yeah, it didn't really present this morning. What's up, Holy One? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Closed dollar CHF. Okay, out the dollar CHF position, 32 pips. Congrats. Nice trade there. Pull up 9 starting to go sideways, so to the profits and ran. Fair enough, can't complain. Bit of indecision there. What's up, Brian? I hope you're doing good. Aussie CHF retraced a bit. I have already put it at break even. Cool. Where's your entry? Is it similar to mine for Aussie CHF? Aussie Chef broke the 1 hour 50, so it entered at 7 a.m. Okay, so you long on Aussie Chef now, Hurley One? CAD JPY, okay, we'll go through, take a look. Still holding dollar CHF. Okay, what we'll do is we'll go through some CHF pairs since a lot of CHF has been talked about, Aussie CHF, dollar CHF, and then we'll go through some yen pairs afterwards as well. Still holding the dollar CHF. UJ nearly at the high. Okay, you're in a long position for dollar yen as well. Oh, okay, you're selling Aussie CHF. Oh, okay. I thought you were looking to buy Aussie CHF. Well, it looks like you've joined me in the trade then. But yeah, we'll go through some CHF pairs to start things off, and we'll start things off with dollar CHF. So dollar CHF, we had the breaking retest. We were talking a lot about this one yesterday and how beautiful of a setup it was, and some people did catch it on the retest, and we did see some nice upside. It is looking a little bit stale at the moment now, but again, you know, the market's just not going to fly in one direction and just move so cleanly forever. It's going to have some resistance, going to pause a little bit, and etc. So I still think there's a really good chance we can push back to the high. Of course, we're finding some resistance here, and this is where the trade management comes in. Are you break even? Are you trading stops? Are you taking partials? Are you going to exit the trade because it's moving sideways? All of that comes under your decision making with the trade, and you kind of want to have a plan in place for that. You don't want to kind of do it spontaneously, because sometimes you can do it emotionally if you're not in the right headspace. Yeah, there's multiple things you could do with the position here, but at the most important thing is to follow the plan. I still think there's a good chance dollar CHF can get back to the high there. Really nice retest there, really nice shift in momentum in the 4 hour. So I would expect us to push back into the high, and then we see what happens from there. Maybe we come back down, maybe we break through and really fly. That'll be up to dollar CHF when we're at that level. But I think dollar CHF still looks really good. Really nice bounce. Of course, a little bit of noise here. Maybe we'll be waiting for some news to get us going. But it's been a nice bounce for dollar CHF, and not far from that 0.86 level as well. But it's all good because dollar CHF has been quite bullish, whereas some other CHF pairs have been a little bit bearish. And that's purely because USD has been very, very strong. So that's kind of helped driven dollar CHF to the upside. But when we get to take a look at the CHF pairs, you can see Euro CHF has to some degree been on a slight bearish trend here. So that one's been slowly moving down. CAD CHF, that was kind of just flat, to be honest. We've had a bit of downside, but it's just been flat. Pound CHF slowly moving down as well. Aussie CHF, the one I'm trading, that one's had a bit of a move down recently, and New Zealand CHF's actually moved pretty cleanly. Actually, it's probably the best CHF pair on the way down, to be honest. So yeah, with CHF pairs, again, on the higher time frames, they're all pretty bearish, maybe apart from dollar CHF, but Euro CHF, CAD CHF, Pound CHF, Aussie, New Zealand, these guys looking in the daily, weekly time frames, specifically, they've had some really long-term bearish trends at play. So as a swing trader anyway, I'm predominantly looking for shorts. There will be some nice long opportunities that will come around, of course, but predominantly I'm looking to sell, finding those areas where those lower highs can be printed in. Euro CHF, we've got a low here, which looks like price is slowly making its way towards. This is where I do expect Euro CHF to end up at. We've got a lovely low here, which price respected really well. I'm kind of expecting us just to keep up with these lower highs prices being putting in, and nestle back down at that low, maybe break through, maybe bounce. We'll analyze when we get there. But so far, I still do look for a bit of a drop there for Euro Swiss. CAD CHF, this one's been a bit more tricky. It's been quite bearish, more so than Euro actually. I did say I like the area here for a short. I'm not so sure that we come back to the low, because these are the all-time lows for Euro for CAD CHF. So I'm not necessarily expecting price to go and create some more all-time lows, although we could. But I think some shorts up at the high look good for a bounce. Even just back to the low end of the range, that looks like a really nice trade, and then we might push up again. Who knows? There's a nice level up here, which still looks good for a short as well. So again, I'm still predominantly bearish on these CHF pairs. Pound CHF had a nice rejection off that low here, but Again, if you're not already short in the trade, don't kind of want to be jumping in now. It's a little bit too corrective, at least in my opinion anyway. So although pound CHF is slowly moving down, it's been pretty consistent with the lower highs. It's just very, very corrective. So I don't expect this move to last forever. I think eventually, we're going to get something like that. So not looking good in terms of pound CHF. Maybe an intraday trade back to the low, call it a day, but I wouldn't expect anything prolonged really. Aussie CHF, the one I'm holding at the moment right now, still looking for us to move back down to this level here, 0.56167, which is where we've got this massive, massive daily level. That's what I'm looking for us to push back into. Now, I'll probably call it a day when we get there, because, yeah, it's a really big level, and I don't want to try and bet on price breaking through. And then New Zealand CHF has been the most bearish out of them all. And this one's got a pretty big level here as well, which is not too far away from. I want to see what New Zealand CHF does here, because this could be a turning point for NZD CHF, but we'll see. We will see. We could break through as well, but yeah, I would expect us to at least come back and test that level. So most of the CHF pairs, in my analysis anyway, I'll be expecting more downside. They're not looking as clean. Some are cleaner than others, but I'm pretty bearish in the CHF world. But then dollar CHF is kind of the odd one out, because USD's been so bullish. It's kind of negated that CHF strength. It's been stronger than CHF really. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the CHF markets. Do you think there's more downside to come? Oh, okay. I thought you were looking to buy our CHF. You're looking for the pullback to your turn to eat. Fair enough. Well, we're in together, because I still haven't taken profit yet for my Aussie CHF position. So, yeah, hopefully a lot more downside. I think there's a few people trading Aussie CHF. Retracement to hourly support. Is that for Aussie CHF as well? Okay, entry 0.58453, 0.58453. Okay, so you're up here somewhere. Looking good. What's your targets for the position? Are you taking it back to the low similar to me, or do you have something else in mind? Or I'm interested, but really nice entry though for the Aussie CHF trade. LFT, how many hours behind do you trail your trade? Again, it's not a time sensitive thing. I don't trail based on time. It's based on market structure, really. If the market, excuse me, if the market just dropped really chaotically and then had a quick pullback, then I probably would trade it there. But if it took a few days to do that, I'll still trade it there anyway. So it's not a time focused thing. It's based on market structure. Good morning, Will. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Okay, looking to sell 50% of that long wick. Okay, so wait. Are you talking about this wick or this wick? I mean, if you're selling, you got to be talking about the bottom one, right? So somewhere here, I would imagine you're looking to sell towards. Yeah, I mean, I would expect us to get there. I mean, expecting us to go down here. So I do think we can hit that level on our way. But yeah, the only thing I don't like about Aussie CHF is just a little bit of a choppy pair. It's just a bit of a choppy pair. So sometimes it has its clean moves and things look good, and sometimes it could take 5 days just to move 5 pips, and then on the 6th day it moves 80 pips. So it can do that sometimes. I mean, just look at the entry I had there. It just danced all its way until the drop happened. So it does take its time as well. It was nice momentum there. So that for me is a good sign. We're seeing some nice momentum. Hopefully the market can continue that, resume that momentum at some point. But yeah, I'm still at break even. So until we break the low here, which is at 0.527, I'm not going to start to trail. If we can break the low, fantastic. Then I'll trail. And like I said, my kind of ultimate target is back at that low, 0.561. So that's kind of where I'm at with the CHF pairs. Okay. Hey, what's up, Sculpey? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, I'll go through gold. Asan. Okay, I'll go through the yen pairs. I'll go through the yen pairs first because someone asked for CAD yen a while ago. So yeah, I'll go through a bunch of yen pairs, and then we'll go through USD as well, because I'm still liking some of the USD pairs. They just kind of haven't sat up how I wanted them to. But yeah, in terms of the yen pairs, so I'm still having that bearish bias, but it just hasn't been right. But it's just, I mean, I'm still holding on to pound yen, so that's kind of where I'm at with pound yen. And I'm looking for a big move back to the low 103. I mean, for CAD yen 103, for pound yen, I'm still looking at what's that 180, 179, euro yen 156. I'm still looking for those swings back to the low, but unfortunately, it just hasn't been playing ball. So, I mean, I'm going to sit on this pound yen trade, wait for it to either hit my stop loss or turn into profit. Of course, it's not looking great at this point in time, but who knows? Maybe pound yen's got my back. It just wants to test my strength first, but we'll see what happens with this one. In terms of CAD yen, as I said yesterday, this is the point where I'm looking for price to sell from 109. So if price can hold that area, fantastic. I do think there's a lot of downside to be had. I think looking to short it is the tricky bit. Looking for entries for that. Yeah. Again, I can understand intraday because intraday we've been pretty bullish. Seeing the higher highs and higher lows. So I can understand from an intraday level looking to take advantage of buys there. But now is not the best time because of where we're coming into. We're coming back into this major high here, which last time gave us a really, really big drop to the downside there. So I wouldn't want to be buying intraday in this area. If price was to break through and continue that momentum, fantastic. If we've got that level to our backs, that acts as a confluence for the buys, but not whilst we're trading into that level. But from a swing perspective, if we can maintain this as resistance, like I said, I do expect us to go through a big, big reversal. So what I'm actually looking for CAD yen is a lower high price to hold this level like we did over there, to do it again. And then I'm expecting a pretty big drop back to 103. That's kind of how I'm looking to take advantage of it from a swing bias. But if you're looking to buy, like I said, you want price to start breaking through this and look for pullbacks, afterwards, not before, where we can definitely roll over. So I'm still holding on to that bearish bias, and it comes from a higher time frame point of view. Daily, weekly chart, as long as we maintain that, I'm not going to change my bias. If we start breaking through, of course, I'll rethink things. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with CAD yen. With pound yen, like I said, I got my entry on the retest of this area here, not last week, the week before, and I put my stop loss above the high. I'm just gonna kind of hold out to that area. Like I said, not looking great, but what's giving me confidence with this one is that the market is still really corrective. And because it's corrective, normally expecting a drop at some point. It's just whether that drop will happen, somewhere here, or would it push up a little bit and take me out the trade first and then the drop? That'll be up to pound yen. But I'm still having that bearish bias. I'm still looking at this being a nice corrective move channel for that bigger impulse that we had in July. Now I'm expecting price to start to bleed to the downside. So that's still very much my thought process with pound yen, despite it not moving kind of how anticipated. Euro yen, similar thing here as well. Of course, massive move to the downside we had in July. This is a key point, a key piece of structure for me, which again, I do expect us to respect and make our way back to the downside. As I said yesterday, there might be some short-term buys on the way up to that level, and they kind of look like they're in play at the moment. But the bigger move, again, I expect it to be to the downside. New Zealand yen is doing a pretty good job at holding onto that high, which is 91.5. If price can maintain that high, I do think we'll fall and see a lot of downside. I said, if you're looking for some entries for this one, it looks pretty straightforward actually, because if we can get the break of that consolidation, think a retest of that low looks like a pretty simple setup and something we can take advantage of, and a push to that low. The risk to reward is looking pretty nice there as well too. So yeah, for New Zealand yen, downside Aussie yen. This one's a little bit tricky because it looks like it's holding onto that level for support. In fact, if you're looking to buy, it looks a little bit better because if we can hold that, that probably will take us back to the high there. But for me as a seller, I'm kind of looking for us to break out of this channel here and start to bleed to the downside. That's what I'm waiting for. But we need to get back underneath that high there. If not, then maybe we are just going to continue higher. But if something like that happens, sales look good. Dollar yen still looking relatively bullish. And again, I want to see price push back to the high there anyway, just above 149. So we might see a bit more upside to get there before the sell. And Swiss yen's looking pretty bullish above that high, but it hasn't really continued yet. So if it can hold that and come back underneath, I still do like the sells. But if we start continuing, then I'll have to reanalyze. But looks like we're struggling at the high at the moment. So yeah, with the yen pairs, they're kind of in limbo, at least from my analysis as well, because they're all testing some key areas on the daily chart where if they have sustained breaks of those areas, I will look to reanalyze and probably flip my bias. Of course, intraday, they've been bullish for the past couple of weeks now. They've been trending to the upside. So if you're intraday, you're kind of looking to take advantage of those buys. But now that we're hitting some big areas, you need to watch out for those buys because we're coming back to some pivotal points on the daily where we could see reversals from that. And yeah, some look much better than others. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the yen pairs as a whole. Okay, Brian, you shorted Aussie yen at 100.854. Where's that? 100.854. Okay, I think you mean 108.54 probably, or something like that. Because 100.84 is all the way down there. So 108.5 roughly around here. So yeah, I like it. I think the biggest thing to focus on is where your stop losses. Your stop loss is above the high here. You give yourself a lot of room to work with. Stop loss above the high here looks good as well, but I wouldn't be trying to do anything too optimistic because you have a relatively tight stop loss, which means there's not a lot of wiggle room. You're giving price to move before it goes into your favor. So some intraday trades like this might make a bit more sense than those, and those levels look good as take profits. But if you have a stop loss above the high here, then you're setting yourself well for possibly a big swing. But in terms of, what am I doing? I'm looking at CAD yen. It's not Aussie yen. 100.8. Okay. Makes sense. That was my bad. I was looking at the wrong pair. So 100.854. Okay, so your entry's around here somewhere. Okay, you're looking really good then. Looking really good. So yeah, well, how far are you looking to take that trade? Because we've already seen a nice move down. So I'd imagine you've entered and you're floating a bit of profit. So where's your target? What's the plan for that trade? Because you're short to that really nice area. And should we drop from there, there could be a long way down. At the same time, we're testing some support area here. So if the trade is it going to go in your favor much longer? And if it is going to push up, that's kind of the area expected to push from. So I wonder if you've taken profit or how you're looking to manage it. No worries, Scorpion, my man. No worries. I've been very, very busy as well, my man. Very busy too. Okay, you bought GJ yesterday afternoon. That's the comment yesterday stream comment section. Okay, but I don't think you saw it. I closed now as a daily. Now give me a sell buy. So I got 15 pips of it. 15 pips is better than no pips. So congrats on that one, Holy One. So your daily is giving you a sell bias now. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. That is definitely interesting. Because since last week, you've been looking to buy some of the yen pairs. I think you're still buying dollar yen, I think, or looking to buy it. Blessing Euro USD. Okay, we'll take a look. No problem. Kadam, hope you're doing good. No worries, Kadam. Office meetings have to be done, but yeah, no worries, man. The streams are always recorded. You can always scroll back and review and go over and watch them another time. Of course, it's not the same as being live, but we've all got life, we've all got things going on. Don't worry. Good morning, Lucky. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Karis, good morning. Hope you're doing good. Welcome. Still holding Odyssey Chef. Nice. Same over here. Can quickly touch base on Odyssey Chef and how we manage it from here. Well, yeah, I'm still break even at Odyssey Chef, so there's really no update really, to be honest, with the trade, because my stop loss is still at break even. And the goal is now for price to go and break the low, which is 0.57289. And then that's when I'll start to trail. Because again, with my thinking, with my trades, is I want to take advantage of them as much as possible. So I'm prepared to give my trades more room, potentially suffer more break evens to catch those bigger winners. And the goal of Aussie Chef here is to see if we can get it to the low here. Of course, the way we're going to manage that is to trail our stop loss as we continue. So if price is going to create some more structure and break the low, great, then I'll trail it above the high here. If you create some more structure somewhere else, then I'll trade it there as well. But the goal is to take profit down here or get trailed out somewhere, wherever we've got our trail stop loss at the time. So those are the two exit strategies here, really. Either we get to the low or we get trailed out somewhere. But effectively, I'm looking to trade this range. We've been up and down between these levels for so long. It's kind of a bit of a breakout, there. We're using it as support again. Now we're back at resistance. So now I'm looking for us to come right back down to that support level. So essentially just looking to play the range, really, is what I'm envisioning for Aussie Chef. So I'm not looking to do anything rash and be too aggressive, giving the trade room it needs to breathe. So yeah, until we break the low, then I won't trail. But yeah, that's currently the plan with Aussie Chef. Still a pretty long way to go, to be honest, but it's looking good though. I like the 4-hour close there, big wick to the upside. Looks like we're likely to form a lower high and push down. And New Zealand CHF, its partner in crime, is still looking pretty bearish, so hopefully that can follow suit as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Aussie Chef. I'll take a look at Euro USD and gold as well before I forget. Okay, stop loss trail to break even at Aussie yen. My target is 94.490, so a very long way to go. Okay, 94. Let's see where that is. 94.490. 94.490. 94.490. Okay, you're looking at a push all the way down there. So looking at a really big trade. Well, I'm very much with you in that bias. I'm looking for those big moves there for the yen pairs too, and I'm still expecting them to happen, even though they're looking a little bit less likely. But I do like that bearish buy. So we'll see. I'm looking at a similar move in pound yen as well. If pound yen's going to do something like this for me, yeah, Aussie yen's probably going to follow suit, maybe at different speeds. Anyway, let me go through gold and I'll take a look at Euro USD. So yeah, gold had a big break to the downside yesterday. Was not expecting that. Again, this hasn't really changed much in terms of my thought process with gold. I'm still very bullish with it, still looking at more upside. If anyone's trading gold or have a bias, let me know what you're looking at. But this is still very much an area which I'd like to buy gold from, which is 25.90. When we had the breakout here, originally, I was waiting for the retest, but it just never happened. So now it looks like potentially might get that retest. And now I'm not looking to try and take gold back to the moon here. I'm looking for a reaction that may continue. It may just be a reaction that lasts for a couple of days and then we push lower. That's cool. I'll probably bank a small win here. If it does continue and fly, I'll be trading my stop loss with it. But the idea is that I'm expecting to see buyers step back into the market around 25.90, because despite this bearish move yesterday, if you look at the higher time frames, nothing's really changed here. This is still just very, very bullish price action. It just might mean we're going through a deeper or a longer correction. So I still like the buys with gold, 25.90. I think in the short term, there is some nice selling opportunities on the retest of this area, because that was some sturdy support. It's now flipped as resistance now. And especially with that momentum from yesterday, if you can pull up, respect that high, that could be a nice short there intraday. You can see the lower highs the market has been printing. And it looks to me that we could do another one and then see that move back to 25.90 and then talk about some buys. So if you're looking to sell gold, I think it looks good, but I wouldn't be too optimistic. Because it could just be a bigger retracement for price to still be bullish. So if you're looking to short 26.30, I would say it looks remotely looks good. I'm still pretty bullish on gold, so I'm not interested in the sells. But yeah, in the meantime, you can probably see a nice sell to then buy it later on. These are the two really interesting areas from a bullish standpoint. But yeah, that was a pretty long consolidation, strong break. So for now, probably get some nice shorts in the meantime, and then we can speak about the buys when we get to those levels. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at for gold. And of course, silver did something similar as well. Pretty big move there to the downside. Silver's actually at a nice place for a long, but price action not looking the best. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for gold. Okay, GJ telling me now could sell, not buy. Okay. So, Holy One, you'd wait for the lower time frames to line up with the higher time frame bias, because I know you would have like a daily and a weekly bias and a 4-hour bias. So do you wait for all of them to line up, or do you just take trades on the time frame regardless? Dev, good morning. Hope you're well. Currently in a buying euro pound. Okay, on the 5 minute from 0.83782. Okay, we'll take a look at that euro pound on the 5 minute. That is quite something. I'm joking. But yeah, we'll take a look at euro pound. I'll go through euro USD first for blessing, and then we'll go through euro pounds. I probably missed out a pair somewhere. If that's the case, let me know. Bearish on gold from 4-hour fractal zone. I don't know what the fractal zone is. But yeah, I think gold's again, I say intraday, but that could still take 2, 3, 4 days to play out. So short-term sell, but I'm still pretty bullish on that trend, because that bearish move doesn't change the trend. It just means that we could go for a deeper correction. I mean, it could be the start of a bearish trend. Let's not rule that out, but it hasn't broken any major structure that tells me we're reversing yet. So I'm still going to keep that bullish bias, but I'm expecting a deep retracement at this point. Okay, let me go through euro. So euro, I still like the longs for euro. It's not quite at my level to buy just yet. It's kind of just hovering above it. But I've got a couple areas I marked out, 1.094, 1.09, as places where I do like the longs. We've had some really nice higher lows as of late, and I'm looking to see if I can catch the next one, around this area here. Now I just need to wait for entry signals, suitable rejection before I do step into the market. But I am looking for some upside here for Euro USD. If you're looking to sell the market, I think sells look good on the lower time frames as well. I marked out this area here yesterday, because if you are on the hourly 30-minute chart, I think this still looks like a really nice sell back into that area than a short. And as we keep up that bearish momentum, but now we're approaching bullish territory again. So my bias is bullish, looking for a bounce. And again, it may not take us all the way back to the high, but it doesn't need to. I can probably still get, a decent winner, still trade out for a profit somewhere. It's just I'll be open and leave myself, that possibility to trade it back to the highs there, but it may just push up, form a lower high somewhere and come back down. If that's the case, I'll be trailed out somewhere for a profit. But these are likely areas where buyers can step in and we can see a bullish move there. So that's what I'm looking at for euro pound on the 4 hour / daily. But if you're intraday, this is kind of the short you're looking at and just riding that momentum whilst it's still here. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro USD. Let me know what you're looking to do with it. Okay, just close dolly and buy every time the trade gets near swing high, it starts turning low. Just squeeze the juice out of the trade, but sometimes it turns into a loss. True. I guess you never know which one is going to turn into the loss and which one is going to, eventually get that push to the high. Yeah, you don't know. And, UJ all of a sudden might look very bullish this afternoon, or it could look very bearish, and you're patting yourself on the back for closing the trade. I think it's just you're making a logical call based on the PA. If it looks promising, you kind of sit on the trade and see it through. If it's looking shaky, showing a lot of rejection, then closing the trade is definitely not the worst decision to make. Anyway, we'll go through. Is it Euro Pound next? I believe so. We'll go through Euro Pound. What's up, eStream? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, we just went through Euro USD there. Okay, lower time frame must match the higher time frame. So yeah, with Euro Pound, Dev, so you're in a buy, you said on the 5-minute chart, if I'm not mistaken. If I can find your message. Yeah, 5-minute chart from 0.83782. 0.83. The mark on the chart 0.83782. So that's around here-ish, pretty much on the dot. SL at 0.83745. 745. Okay, it's around there. And then your take profit is 0.8377. 83877. So at the high, pretty much. So yeah, I like the risk profile. You're looking at probably a 1 to 2.5 there, maybe in terms of the RR, maybe 1 to 3. So yeah, I don't mind the risk profile. Now, I'm sure you got the reasons for entering the trade and your confidence is all met. Now, I'm not a big fan of the price action, to be honest, not because it's Euro Pound, but because it's ranging. It being Euro Pound doesn't help either, but I just don't like the ranging price action here. But in terms of how you're looking to play it, it makes sense because essentially what you're looking at really is you're looking for price to hold the low of the range and then bounce back to the high of the range. You're basically looking to play play the swing of the range, which is a good way of looking at it. If you're going to trade a range, that's how I would do it. Buy low, sell high. So I'd imagine you're already in the position, so yeah, you're already in the position here. So yeah, I think it looks good. The stop loss is in a relatively safe place as well. If price is going to take the stop, it's either price is going to fake out and then push back in. If that's the case, you can always look to re-enter. Or price just wants to break out and continue going low anyway. So you don't want to be in the position at that point, anyway. And targets look relatively safe as well, more or less back at the high. Might see some rejection before, but I think if you're generally looking to take profit in that area, looking good as well. So yeah, I like the position, playing the range. Not really my type of trade, but again, if you're looking to play the range, that's how I would do it anyway. So yeah, fair play to you. Pretty brave trading Euro Pound in the 5-minute. Don't know a lot of people who do that. But then again, Euro Pound's not the worst pair to trade because its spread's not bad as well with Euro Pound, and it's pretty like smooth sailing. You're not going to get too erratic moves with Euro Pound. I know I say that, and we've got a massive candle there, but most of the time, it's pretty sensible pair. So trading on the lower time frames is relatively safe and calm. But yeah, if we're going to see that range play, it looks pretty good back to the high. Yes, I'm still in the GJ trade. It's still just sitting in the middle of nowhere really for me right now. My stop loss is at 196.174. That's where my stop loss is, was basically above the high there. So I'm still in the GJ trade. It's taking its sweet time. I mean, it's not looking good at all because it's still maintaining the high lows. But as I said earlier in the stream, what I do like about it is that it's still pretty corrective. So I do think we're eventually going to get that break to the downside. It's just whether we'll hit my stop loss before it does that move. But yeah, I'm still bearish on pound yen. I'm still bearish on pound yen. So I'm still going to hold out the position. I put the stop loss there for a reason. So I'm going to respect it. See if the price turns around or it takes me out the trade. But yeah, it's not looking great. It would be a lot better if it was in profit by now. But it's just moving very, very sideways. I mean, you could close the trade and then look for re-entry, but I'll just let it play out. I'll let it play out. Being in it so long now, it almost feels I'm doing myself a disservice to close the trade too early. But yeah, whenever I do take a trade, 99% of the time, I'm always going to wait for my stop loss to be hit. Maybe under some condition, I might exit early if I'm getting some really big red flags, or maybe a high impact news is coming out and it's near my stop loss and you've got the possibility of getting slipped. But 99% of the time, I'll hold out to my stop loss because my thinking is, I put the stop loss there for a reason. I accepted the risk before I got into the trade. And I've been in trades before where it's very close to my stop loss and it turns around into profit as well. So I don't want to take an unnecessary loss because of that. So yeah, I'm still in the Aussie the pound yen position, and we'll see how that one goes. But I'm looking across the board at some of the other yen pairs. They kind of look relatively bullish on the lower time frame. So I think some upside intraday looks likely, but the higher time frames for me are still pretty bearish. So yeah, I am still expecting big moves down for them, mostly on the daily time frame, but maybe on the hourly or the 4 hour, we've still got a bit of upside left before that big sell comes into life. But if I do get stopped out, I will look for re-entries if it's available, but probably won't look for pound yen, to be honest, because it might not be the best setup. But we'll see. I'll make a decision when it comes into fruition. But yeah, I'm still holding on to pound yen and still holding on to Aussie CHF. That one finally moved in my direction. This one was moving sideways for ages as well. At least this one eventually did drop into profit there. So we're going to hold on to that one. But yeah, those are the two positions I'm in at the moment. I was looking to get into NZUSD, but unfortunately didn't play ball with the interest rates yesterday and it dropped. So it didn't give me the signal I wanted this morning. So yeah, now that that's happened, I'm no longer looking to buy it, and I'll stay cash. But if we do come back above that level, we do show a really nice recovery, I will look to get involved. Otherwise, I'll be sitting on my hands. But we've got CPI tomorrow, so that's going to be interesting. No way. Later in the afternoon to see it melted 120 pips. Not even just a couple of days later, that same afternoon. Yeah, I mean, I've been in that situation before as well. I've held onto a trade for a long period of time, managed to close out of boredom, and then it does play out. And I've also been in trades where I hold it for a long time as well, and then it eventually does hit my stop loss as well. But, my thinking is I'm not necessarily doing anything. It's not like I'm all I've done is place a trade. Now it's up to the market if it wants to go up or down. So it's not like it's doing anything. Of course, it can be mentally draining sometimes as well. But if you're kind of just focused on the next trade, which is how I kind of neglect it, because from a management standpoint, there's nothing for me to do with the pound yen trade. There's literally nothing. It's either price is going to hit my stop loss or it's going to reverse into profit. When it does that, of course, I'll look for trading opportunities and stuff, but that's a long way into the future if it does reverse in my favor. But yeah, there's nothing for me to do. So my focus really in terms of trading is not so much, okay, will pound yen go into profit or will it fail? My focus is on the next trade. My focus was pretty much all of on NZUSD yesterday. Now that that's broken structure, kind of wait and see what happens next. But my focus is always on the next trade. So I kind of don't stress so much about the current trades because I'm always thinking about the next one, always thinking about the next one. I did all the hard work in terms of the analysis and coming up the trade and placing the trade. Now it's up to the market to move. Will, was any news today since all USD pairs are flatlining? Yeah, I think there is actually that we do have FOMC in the evening, 7 p.m. UK time. But that's the minutes though. It's not the actual event. So it's the minutes where sometimes it can have literally no effect in the market. Sometimes it can have a bit of a move, but I've seen many times with FOMC minutes does literally nothing. In terms of the FOMC minutes, there's literally nothing else, to be honest. There's some speeches here and there, maybe not. But FOMC minutes might be something to keep an eye out on 7 p.m. UK time in about 8 hours time. But then tomorrow you have CPI, so that could be a big impact there. I think that's where the main focus will be really. I'm looking at Friday. Friday got PPI as well. Michigan consumer sentiment. So a little bit wishy-washy on Friday as well. But yeah, CPI tomorrow could be a heavy hitter. Dollar CAD Raheel. Okay, we'll take a look. See, no problem. Oh, that wasn't you. Okay, I witnessed it from other traders. Yeah, again, it just depends on the market because sometimes you can see the market go sideways, and then all of a sudden the market drops so it flies, and you kind of like, I wish I didn't close that trade. You can even see that on a smaller time frame as well. Even if you're in a trade for like 6-7 hours, it might move sideways for the first 5 hours, and then the following hour or the hour after that, it then moves in your direction. So it doesn't have to be in terms of a whole week. It can be in terms of a few hours as well. It does nothing. Keep forgetting on a couple of screens. Keep thinking you're on a laptop. Yeah, no, I've got a few screens in front of me. But yeah, if I'm doing that all the time, just know I'm looking at different screens. I'm not just losing my mind. So yeah, what I was going to take a look at, it was a market. Completely forgot. If I have missed that pair someone has mentioned, let me know. USD CAD, that was it. There might be another one. Anyway, we'll go through some USD pairs. Haven't really gone through the USD pairs yet, apart from like Euro. So yeah, USD CAD, very interesting. This one, very interesting because I've been saying I'm bearish on USD CAD as long as we maintain that high there at 1.36470. Yesterday, we actually didn't break above because if I just ignore current day's candle, if we just focus on the previous candlesticks, if the replay tool can hurry up. Today, I have no idea what happened there. There we go. I don't know why that was so hard. But yeah, if you just focus on yesterday's price action, we had a really big wick to the upside and it pulled back just underneath the level by the end of the day. So that to me, technically, price is still holding. It hasn't broken through. Of course, with today's kind of work, we're breaking above, but then again, we still got 10 hours, 11 hours left before before the candle closes. So I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to judge it too early because this candle could still close bearish today. But it's very much at the breaking point. And if that sustains and keeps going, then I would actually flip my bias from bearish all the way to bullish with dollar CAD and looking for something like this to happen in the near future. for a push possibly back to that high there as well, because it looks like we just double bottomed out. Price is now breaking the high, looking for that next higher low, possibly on the retest of that area. And then, yeah, potentially we're going to push back to the high. So with USD CAD, it's at an interesting place right now. I mean, with NZUSD as well, that one broke through structure, or is breaking structure. Again, waiting for these daily candles to cement things. But it looks like we are breaking these highs and breaking these lows. So possibly we might be seeing a lot more strength in USD, dollar CAD pushing up higher, and the USD falling further. In that case, I'll be looking at longs for dollar CAD. But yeah, I was pretty short bias, but it looks like we're breaking through. Still waiting for the daily candle to close though, because things can change really quickly. You know, we can get a massive bearish engulfing on the 4 hour, and then things will change in the daily as well. But as things stands, yeah, I think I'll be looking to swap the bias around and wait for the daily to really confirm things. But let's say we do get a strong close today, then from tomorrow onwards, I'll be looking at a little bit more upside, pullbacks, retests, and some longs. But yeah, DXY has been relatively bullish. I mean, since last week anyway. This week hasn't really done much, giving us 2 dojis and a slightly bullish candle. It's trying to break higher, but it's not doing its best job at doing so. But yeah, dollar CAD for me is in a place of indecision. It's either it's going to respect the level or it's not. If it doesn't, I'm bullish. If it does, I keep the bearish bias. So I'll make that call probably by the end of today, if not Thursday or Friday. And then that will dictate my swing bias for the next 2 or 3 weeks. In terms of euro, which we spoke about, I'm still looking for buys as we approach these areas again. Again, I'm not necessarily looking for the move back to the high. I mean, that's what I'll be looking for, but I'll just be trading and seeing how far I can take it. These levels still look really good for longs, so I will be looking for my entries in those areas, predominantly on the 4 hour. Nothing quite yet so far. I need to drop a little bit more anyway before I start looking to buy, but those are the areas I'm looking to get involved with. Pound USD, I still do like the buys at this level. This level here, 1.30250, was a really nice level of resistance, was a nice level of support. I'm looking for a big buy to the upside there for pound. I think I do prefer euro to pound, so if they do both set up, I will just focus on euro, to be honest, because they do the same thing. If I take both trades, I'm effectively going 2% risk on the opportunity, really. So with pound, I'm looking for that move to the upside. And the USD, like I said, is broken through, so I'm gonna have to rethink this one. And if I do get the close below, I'll probably just back off completely. Dollar CAD we just spoke about. Dollar CHF, not really a pair I'm looking at, to be honest. Out of the dollar pairs, USD CHF is the only pair I'm not looking to trade at all, really. Again, all my analysis really does occur on the weekend, and then I'll select the pairs I'm interested in. Dollar CHF, unfortunately, is not one of them. Aussie dollar, I like the buy still 2 levels, which I'll look to buy from 0.67 and 0.665. If I get some entries here, I will look to get involved on the 4 hour, look, find some entries and see if I can take it back to the high, like so. That will still very much be the plan of Aussie dollar. Gold and silver, still looking for longs, but it looks like we might see a bit more downside with these guys first. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the USD pairs. But they have been incredibly flat since CPI, not CPI, sorry, since NFP on Friday. I was expecting NFP to be a bit of a catalyst to get a bit of a trend going, but unfortunately, might be relying on CPI for that. But yeah, I'm still looking for buys for a lot of these USD pairs, but for dollar CAD, for NZUSD, I think I'll just kind of sit it out. And if I need to, change bias as well. And then a lot of these crosses, I'm not a big fan of them either. They've just been really choppy. Look at your NZ, up, down, up, down, up, down. Pound NZ, same thing, more or less, a bit cleaner. Euro Aussie, that's been up and down. Pound Aussie has been up and down as well. Euro pound, it has had a nice trend, but it's been really choppy as well. Then the Aussie New Zealand dollar has just been absolutely ugly. So no comment with that one as well. And of course, CHF pairs have been okay. Aussie CHF has been the best one of the bunch, and hence why I'm short on that one. Um, but yeah, no, the CHF pair really did it for me. So that's why I'm just gonna look after that one, and then yeah, I'm gonna see what happens with pound yen. Not looking good at all though, because of the retest of this level yesterday. I might see another swing back to the high, but I'm gonna take me out of the trade first. We'll see. We will see. But then again, there's other yen pairs which look good. If I do get stopped out of pound yen, I'll see what happens, see how we look on the daily chart, and hopefully I can find some entries on Euro yen or New Zealand yen or Aussie yen or whichever yen pair. But yeah, it's been pretty slow to be honest, because I've been holding on to those positions for a while. But then again, I have been very busy, so I haven't been as active as I normally would. Um, with elevate traders, so that was always expected. But then again, I wasn't expecting to sit in pound yen for, I mean, on Friday it will be 2 weeks. For Tuesday, I've been sitting this trade since last Tuesday, so it's just over a week with this one. So altogether, not far off 3 weeks there, cumulatively. But again, I've switched from hourly entries and looking for more of an intra-week swing to now looking for swings that could take 2 or 3 weeks to play out. So I've made that step, that adjustment. So it will take some time getting used to. But yeah, I do prefer it though. I do prefer it. I wonder if I can do a poll on the stream, see that what the balance is between swing traders and day traders. Okay. Okay, so I've done a poll. We'll see what the balance of swing, day, or both, because I understand people do both as well. See what type of traders people are. Because I know there's a bunch of people that do swing and there's a bunch of people that do day trading. But I've always thought that at least on the streams anyway, the balance has always been pretty 50-50, I would say. 50-50 between swing and day. Okay, last swing, but recently 3 weeks ago they're not playing out as much. So why going to okay, keep reversing and playing games. Yeah, I feel like it's just you go through those spells. To be honest, as you do for intraday trade as well. But with swing, you probably feel it more because everything is just a little bit longer and takes a bit more time. But like you go through those periods where everything you touch turns to gold, and you're seeing some really nice swings and really big swings as well. And you just get those times where the market's trending very well, and then you get times where things are a bit choppy, and then you have to find a lot of re-entries and things go up and down, and they're not really swinging. They're kind of just more back and forth, back and forth. And of course, that could last a while as well. That could last a while. So yeah, you're gonna have to stomach those storms with swing trading. Was day trading, you will have those spells where things are not really moving well, and your strategy's not really aligned with the market, but that could just be 2-3 days out of the week. And then next week everything's back to its best. So that's definitely something you have to factor in as a swing trader as well. Okay, mostly 2 to 4 days. Yeah, that's probably my average as well when I'm trading the hourly as well, for my winners at least. Of course, I could be like my losses could take an hour or a few hours, but my winners normally go for between 1 and 4 days, I would say, for when I was trading the hourly. Now on the 4 hours, probably averaging about a week, a little over a week. Ben, you're always coming up on the with the jokes on the stream. All my trades hit stop loss within 10 minutes. Do I still qualify? Well, if you've got good intentions, if you're looking to hold it for a few actually, yeah, I don't think you qualify. I think by default you're a day trader or a scalper now. You might be looking to take some swing positions, but because you're stopped down 10, I'll say you're a day trader. Yeah, after 2 days, most time for a correction, and if you have another pair to trade, okay, take that one instead. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, to be honest, because again, the market doesn't just move in a straight line. It's going to have a push, pause, maybe a miniature reversal, and then it might continue its overall trend. So, if you're going to hold trade for a number of days, you're going to go through kind of all those cycles. It's not going to just be, of course, you will get some trades that just fly in your direction, but mostly trades, if they're going to go up, they'll push, looks everything that's great, might consolidate, might push again, then it might go for a bit of a dip, then it might push again. Yeah, so it's going to do something like that over the next few days as it moves in direction. So, these could be opportunities to add to your trade essentially, or find other trades like Will mentioned as well. And that's the same with swing as well. The cycles, of course, they will take a little bit longer. It's a very meaty consolidation there on the daily chart, which probably spanned a couple of months at least. So that would be a pain holding on to that. Yep, 100%. Ben, you should join the Discord. I very much agree with that. And anyone should join the Discord as well. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, make sure you head over and go check it out. Link in the description to that, but it's at the top of the chat as well. You can't miss it. Yeah, you can chat about trading opportunities, share opportunities you're looking at. I show opportunities I'm looking at as well. And there'll be discount opportunities whenever Elevating Traders does launch as well. So it's a win-win. What's up, Chucks? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Almost a frustrating thing. Yeah, of course that's true. You could wait a very long time for a setup and then it just doesn't play out or it doesn't even set up properly. But you actually get an entry, or you might be asleep when it sets up. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to trade swing, it helps to have larger accounts. If you're going to have a relatively small account, you can still swing trade, of course. It's just it takes a little bit longer to get things going, and you can still be very profitable with swing trading, even more profitable than day trading if you play your cards right. Because of course, with day trading, there's more opportunities to make money, but there's of course more opportunities to lose money as well. So if you're not careful, sure, you might make your money quicker, but then you can lose it just as quick as well. So if you play your cards right, you can do both very, very well, but it helps to have a bit more money in your account if you're swing trading. Yeah, but that's the thing with comparison as well, Hurdy One, because someone might make 3K in 6 hours, but then some guy might make 10K in 6 minutes. Really, because you've got day trading and you've got scalping as well. So it's like, should I go even quicker and scrap day trading? Let me go and scalp, because why do I have to wait 6 hours to make 3K when I can do that in 6 minutes potentially? So there's always a smaller time frame to trade. I've seen people trade on like the 5 second time frame, which for me is insane. First of all, I didn't even know there was a second time frame, but there is a second time frame, and there's people trading on the second time frame, which for me is bonkers, absolutely bonkers. But hey, if it works for them, do that. So yeah, there's always a low time frame. There's always a low time frame. What the way I look at it is, because everyone has different lifestyles and different commitments and everything. It just depends on what suits you best, because other people might not like the low time frames because it's too quick. And some people might not like the higher time frames because they're too slow. You pick your choice, pick your time frame. And the way I see it, there's money to be made in all time frames. And just the way you trade. Of course, Sculpey loves the low time frames. That's where I have to step away, because that is not my forte. Again, I could trade the lower time frames, but I'm too comfortable with the high time frames now, with the speed of everything and how it moves. I kind of like the routine now. Too much to leave. Good, Ben. Good. Have you on board? Bailed on Yuri and shorts for basically break even. Okay. Fit long on Aussie Chef, looking for that low to put in yesterday to be a lower high for a longer term move up. Yeah, I do think for Aussie Chef there is a big move to the upside, because I think longer term the C Chef pairs are likely to have that bigger retracement, because a lot of them are all-time lows. But if I'm looking to buy Aussie Chef from a swing bias, it has to be back down at these prices here. It has to be back down there. So effectively, I could be looking to sell to buy it later, but I'm not going to sell here, because I know I'm looking at a bit more of a higher time frame bias than you. But the way I see OCHF right now is that this is a range and the market's rejected the high, so I'm expecting us to push into the low. So I'm looking to buy the market. It's either it's breaking out and I can pick some longs here, or it's at the low of the range and I can pick some longs there. So those are the only two ways I'll look to get involved with Aussie Chef. I don't want to get involved in the middle, because that's where the most indecision is. Not that you can't get good trades, it's a little bit harder in those areas. So I do agree. I think longer term we could see a big reversal, but I either want price to break the high and then I'll entertain that idea, or push to the low. Hopefully it does push the low, because then I can catch a nice win there and look to get back into some longs later on as well, and hopefully ride it back up. I'm still bearish on Aussie Chef for the time being. Still bearish for the time being. Don't like cutting trades too early, but EJ's too bullish. Yeah, it's the same situation with pound yen for me. Yen isn't really for beginners. I'm not touching it until it actually is trending on the daily chart. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, there's no need to force anything as well, because you can make 50 pips on pound USD, and those 50 pips is still 50 pips on pound yen and New Zealand CAD and whatever pair you're trading. So there's no obligation to go and trade yen. I know yen's got a nice little feel to it, and it feels kind of fancy. Oh, you're trading pound yen, you're trading euro yen, sounds a bit fancy. But 50 pips is 50 pips anywhere. So if you're more comfortable trading USD markets and the majors and whatever market, stick with it. No need to try and force anything. And if there's a good opportunity with the yen, you don't want to be too hesitant to take the trade as well. It's just another market at the end of the day, but a very volatile one, 100%. Okay, New Zealand CAD will have a look as well. No problemo. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, Will. Learn loads by seeing other people take their trades. Because at the end of the day, they're trading, so you learn from that habit as well. You're doing it on binary sometimes, 5 second trades. Yeah, that I can't get my head around. But mate, dark shot, if it's working, mate, yeah, don't let me talk you out of it. But yeah, 5 seconds, that's just bonkers to me. Yeah, 4 months. It's funny because people, holding trades for 4 months and 4 seconds. You can really do what you want with it, to be honest. That's kind of one of the really nice perks about trading, is that you can really make it your own. If you want to be that long-term swing trader who takes a position and forgets about it and only checks about it every 30 days, and you finally exit 6 months later, you can be that type of trader if you want. Or if you want to be very aggressive, very active in the markets and hold trades for a maximum 30 seconds, you can be that guy if you want to as well. It's really up to you. Um, yeah, whatever floats your boat. Yeah, I understood, Ben. Don't worry. Okay, I'll go through New Zealand CAD before I forget. Chucks, what do you think of GJ and gold? I look for a sell on GJ 195, 250 and buy gold 2608. Okay, we'll take a look. So let me quickly go through New Zealand CAD. So New Zealand CAD, again, I was actually looking to buy New Zealand CAD as well with NZUSD. Those are the two NZ markets which I was looking to buy. But yeah, they just didn't. I was looking to buy them this morning, but of course, because we had the New Zealand interest rate yesterday, um, it came out really bearish for NZ. So we had a big drop for both of them, and they both broke through some key areas. Well, not NZD CAD. NZD CAD is still above it, but NZUSD did. So NZD CAD, for me to buy this one, we need to hold into this level here, 0.831. If we can see some really strong rejection there, nice bullish engulfing, and it needs to be a pretty strong candle as well, because there's a lot of momentum with this bearish candle. So I need to see that kind of reverse for me to have enough confidence to take up some longs here. But essentially what I'm looking at is this lower holding and then looking for a swing to the upside. Let's make sure you guys can see that. There we go. So I'm essentially looking to anticipate a reversal from somewhere around here and then some upside, because we're making these higher highs and higher lows. We come back into a big swing point here where we did have a minor pause and a big push. So I want to see price holding that. If we break through that low, that's an equivalent of a breaker structure to me. So at that point, we might put a lower high and then continue lower. So I would have to shift my bias, change my bias at that point. So for now, I'm still bullish because we're still above that low. But if we don't do that, then I'll change my bias around, or at least won't be looking to take up any longs at that point. But yeah, we're at a nice place for a buy. And again, we don't necessarily have to swing it all the way back to the high as well for it to be a successful trade. We can go halfway, a quarter of the way. This is a nice swing low here. That could be a nice target to aim for. And maybe we get a sell from there. Who knows? But this is definitely bullish territory and definitely a level which I'll anticipate some upside from. But I need to see that momentum step in. At the moment, we might just bleed straight through. So it's important we see that shift in momentum. And then, yeah, maybe some entries to take it back to 0.842 and maybe beyond that as well. But that's kind of where I'm at with NZD CAD. Imagine the patience of a 4-month trade. Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, I bet it's not like you have to be actively patient, because someone who's used to taking trades for 4 months, it's going to be a big struggle to hold a trade for that long. But if you're used to that, I bet it's like a doddle for that person, because they're not probably actively checking their trades every 5 minutes, and then they're probably not at the charts every day. They probably only analyze probably the charts once a day. They may check charts once a day or once every other day as well. There's no way they're spending 3-4 hours looking at the markets every day and holding position for 4 months. Maybe they are, but that just becomes very stressful looking at every single swing and every single move. But yeah, it's still impressive to hold a trade for that long. USD, yen, CHF, CAD pairs in that order. Yeah, USD is definitely the best to trade. USD is definitely the best to trade. Lower spreads, cleaner moves, most volume. Um, they're definitely the best markets to trade. But it doesn't mean they're the best all the time, because sometimes there's really nice opportunities elsewhere, better than the current USD pairs. But on average, if you just want to pick some pairs to trade, it would probably be USD on average. Yeah. I think that's the big thing, Ben, about higher time frames. You could be in a trade, sit in it for a while, multiple weeks, just to end up at reversing and end up break even. Yeah, that's why I said, if you're going to hold trades for a very, very long time, like the 4-month example we mentioned, you want to have a relatively big account, because even if you make small gains, it's still a decent monetary size. Then it becomes a bit more worth it. But if you have a smaller account, yeah, it's not gonna be meaningful. Okay, swing day trade. That's me. Sometimes I swing, sometimes I day trade. Yeah, I like the balance. To me, I like just focusing on one particular kind of time frame and style. But I can see many people like to pick and choose. A 210 from 0.01. Oh wow, 200 quid off a 10 pip. A pip is impressive. Yeah, very impressive. Very, very impressive. I wonder what the risk reward on that was. But yeah, like I said, there's so many ways to trade the market. It's just whatever makes sense to you, because some person day trades or swing trades. It doesn't mean you should do that too. Because we're all here for the same goal here. We're all here to make a profit. Whatever that entails is up to the trade. And of course, everyone's got different commitments as well. Some people are students. Some people's full-time employment. Some people got other responsibilities they need to do. So some style of trading might not make sense. Sometimes you actually need to be that longer term swing trader, because you don't have the time to be consistently at the markets as well. So there's a lot of things that play into it. Anyway, we'll take a look at that gold and GJ ID. You said you're looking to sell GJ from 195 250. 195 250, which is around the high here. Okay, so you're looking for a price to get there, and then you're looking to sell. Not bad. I mean, again, I like pound yen to the downside, not because I'm selling it, but because of, where are we? Because of how corrective we're moving. Ascending channels, when price is moving in this corrective nature, it never lasts for too long most of the time before we do get that break to the downside. And a lot of the yen pairs are moving like that. They are very corrective. So I do think eventually we will see that move down. It's just they might push up a little bit first before we get the drop. So on the higher time frames for these yen pairs, I do think we will get that move. It's just about when it happens and how it happens as well, in terms of getting the entries too. But yeah, I think entries there not bad, because it's effectively where the market has been rejecting. It's done so well. So kind of want that area to hold, but we'll see. The key thing I want to see for pound yen is us breaking back underneath that low, or that high, sorry. That will be a key sign that, okay, the sales are back on, price is no longer moving in that channel. We're probably going to go for that big dip. I'm just looking to see if we can not hit my stop loss before that happens. But a break of, what's that, 193, if we can break that, do it with some nice momentum as well, strongly, I think we're in for some really nice momentum. But we'll see. We will see. But yeah, I agree with the sells with gold, with pound yen, at least long term as well. In terms of gold, you're looking for a buy around 2608. Whereabouts is that? 2608, 2608. So you're looking for a buy back at the low here. Let me smooth this out the way. 2608, you're roughly here-ish. So yeah, I mean, of course, that's what price created the low from yesterday on Tuesdays. Yeah, yesterday's Tuesday. So you could bounce from there, but I wouldn't expect anything. What's your target for that trade? How far are you looking to take it? Because what I'm expecting for gold is more downside. We might bounce and push up, but I'm expecting us to push further down back to roughly 125.90. So buys at the low is a sensible place for a stop loss as well. It's just I don't expect it to go for too long. I don't expect you to look to hold that trade for long as well. I think if you're looking to target around here, 26.30, 26.35, looks like a pretty reasonable move. And then we might see a drop from there. And then you can probably look to set it afterwards as well. But yeah, gold, I think there's a bit more downside to be had. I'm looking for buys around 25.90, 25.50. Those are the areas where I want to step in. But in the meantime, I do think we can come a little bit lower. So that's kind of where I'm at with gold. That one makes suicidal. Break after that. Yeah, break even after 4 months in a trade is a tough one to take because not only are you break even, but let's say you're selling a yen pair, pound yen, you're also paying swap to do that. So every single daily rollover, you're paying swap for 4 months. And then the break even is not actually break even, it's actually a loss. Of course, if you're positive swap, then it's not that bad because at least you do make money a bit on the swap, though, especially for 4 months, it will add up a little bit. It's not going to be a phenomenal trade, but at least you still walk away for some bit of profit there. But yeah, it's probably not enough for 4 months, though. So yeah, still not particularly great. Ben, remember the New Zealand Future Trader took, they would have been in profit for 2 weeks now as they has melted and then back at break even. That's why I bailed it. Have we got time for that? Yeah, I was thinking that, to be honest, because I remember it was looking really bullish at one point, but it has come straight back down. I think you were looking for an entry around here somewhere. I think we were bullish at the time, and you said you were going to look to enter here, stop loss underneath the low. So originally, nice move, but yeah, it did come back down. So when was that? That was the 16th, roughly, of September. So looking about 3 weeks since we last spoke about that move. And yeah, you'd be back in break even. Not only would you be back at break even, you'd probably be back in a bit of a loss there, actually. If you haven't trailed to break even, that is. But yeah, that's the reality of the longer time frames, really. Yeah, yeah. Because if you look over here on the left, if you catch some nice shorts, you can really milk them on the way down. But sometimes you won't be that lucky, and sometimes you will catch those positions that come back down. So yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Only one way to trade, that's profitably. Facts. All right, Will, no problem, man. Take care. Don't forget to like and sub. Appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It does really help out. And yeah, I appreciate everyone who has liked and subscribed so far. And of course, make sure you hit the bell as well. That always rhymes. Hit the bell as well, so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. How you find profitability is up to you. Swing trade, day trade. Yeah, just be profitable. I think again that's the main that's what we're all here. If trading wasn't something that paid you, I don't think anyone would be here today. We're all here to make a profit in the market. So however that comes around is the most important thing, and whether that comes from, like you said, a wide range of strategies, looking at this time frame or that time frame, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It just matters that what you're doing has an edge. And that's where your focus should be, and improving that edge. My original goal 2018 was catch 10 pips a day. Scrap that idea. Definitely works there. Yeah, I suppose everyone comes into trading like that though. You're like, if I just make X amount of pips a day, trading X amount of lots. Um, Although it could be doable, but it's never going to be like that all the time. You know, you're going to go through spells of drawdown. You're going to spells where you make a lot more than 500 and make a lot less as well. But on average, you could, of course, sustain that over the long run as well. But I think the best way to think about it is just, you know, of course, you want to set your targets and stuff with trading because you want to know if you're achieving what you want to achieve or you're underperforming or overperforming. But the most important thing really is just taking really good quality trades, and the rest will take care of itself. Because when you focus too much on the numbers, sometimes you can kind of lose track of the actual thing that's actually going to pay you, which is, you know, taking good trades and having a good edge in the market. So I always try to stay true to the edge and make sure that I'm just taking the best trade I can find, and then, you know, letting the trades, you know, do all the heavy lifting. Um, but of course, you want to work back and see, you know, if I take X amount of trades and with X amount of lots, can I make the profit I want to make? And then if that adds up, then just focus on taking the best trades, and the rest will take care of itself. As USD is going to bounce, yeah, I agree. It is going to have a bounce because if you look at the type of market we're in right now, it's just up and down, up and down. So I do expect us to find some support somewhere and push up. It may even be all the way down here, possibly. But I do think we're going to see a bit of a relief in the market because we've had a pretty hefty sell. We've had a pretty hefty sell, and I do expect us to push up. But I still long term do think NZUSD can make the move back to the high as well. I do think long term we're going through a bit of a reversal here. I'm going to see some upside, but in terms of the buys, the area I wanted to buy anyway is no longer holding. So I'm just going to stay put and see what happens with NZUSD because, yeah, really where I wanted to buy from is not doing its thing anymore. So there's nothing for me to do, at least in terms of my plan. Doesn't mean NZUSD won't bounce though. It just means I might not be in a trade for it. Whereas Aussie dollar though, it's still ticking the boxes, and if it can come back to one of these two areas, I do very much like the buys, particularly around 0.665, right back at the low. If we get a nice bounce there, I'll definitely look for some entries to take it back up again. But yeah, USD CAD is looking really bullish. Looks like I might be looking to change my bias there around. It's awkward. Okay, so for the poll, it's actually pretty even across all three options. 32% swing, 32% day, 36% both. So yeah, I was pretty much right, to be fair. I thought the split of the stream is pretty even between swing and day, and then even the people that do both is pretty even as well. Maybe I should have done a third category for scalping. I think that would probably be the least, I reckon. Because scalping is not really that popular. It's not really that popular, I don't think. I think day trading, of course, what's the separation between day trading and scalping? I think scalping, you're normally in and out of position less than an hour. That's kind of my thought process. Less than an hour, less than 30 minutes. That's kind of my thought process of scalping. And then day trading is just between 1 hour and 24. Hence the name. But I think that'll be the least popular. But I think it's safe to say that everyone's tried both, though. Everyone's tried day, everyone's tried swing. Yeah, I agree, Ben. CPI is going to be a key indicator tomorrow. I thought NFP on Friday was going to just set things up, and we're going to see a nice trend from that. But unfortunately, we haven't quite seen that with the dollar. I mean, it has been really bullish since last week, coming off that low. But I've got these two areas which I'm looking at. We may break this one to push into that one, which is a pretty big range to fill. But essentially, the XY has just been ranging really. And now it looks like we're rejecting the low, so effectively we could push to the high. Longer term, still looking for us to break lower, but we might go through a bit of a bullish trend phase first. Maybe CPI could be the start of that, and then we might eventually roll back over. But in the meantime, we might be seeing some bullish momentum for the next few days. That is definitely a big possibility, and that kind of lines up with dollar CAD and dollar CHF as well, of why we can see some upside with those. How's Aussie CHF doing? It hasn't gone anywhere, still moving sideways. How's pound yen doing? It hasn't gone anywhere either. Still taking its sweet time. We'll see though, we'll see. Again, CPI, although it's a USD event, CPI for USD for dollar anyway, it probably will affect pound yen, Aussie CHF as well, to a degree. So it's gonna be interesting to hold those two. But at least now, one's break even, so there's just no risk with that Aussie CHF position. So I can hold this one without dropping an ounce of sweat. Pound yen could be a little bit more tricky though, because the closer this one moves to my stop loss, the less kind of room I've got to wiggle with the trade. YouTube Gurus promised me you catch 27i every month by the end of the London session. Every morning, but not even month, every morning. By the end of the London session if you scalp. I know. Mate, they know something that we don't know. Not even 25R, 27R to be specific. That you need to pay 997 for the course. Mate, you know the process of by heart. Ever considered AI trading? No, I haven't actually. Actually, no, I have considered it, but just never really gone through with it, to be honest. But again, the benefits of AI really is kind of like automation, in terms of, because the thing with AI, at least AI now anyway, AI in like 10 years time could be a whole different ball game. But AI right now won't mimic analysis or trade how I trade because of discretion. I have systematic rules in my trading, which are black and white, but then there's a big part of my trading which is down to my thought process, down to my analysis, and down to my thinking, really. So it's kind of hard to get AI involved on that side of things because it relies really with my thinking and my experience. But in terms of like using AI to manage trades or trail stops, it can be effective with that. And even things like drawing support and resistance, I wouldn't even give AI that task to do because the way I draw support and resistance is again unique to myself as well. Even though yes, support and resistance is a bit more black and white, a bit more objective, but even when I draw it is subjective as well because there's levels I focus more on others. Maybe AI can just speed up the process, maybe in identifying areas, but I still need to be the overseer. So yeah, I've never really gone through with it with AI, but I think maybe in the future it will kind of speed up analysis, speed up taking trades and managing trades. I feel like that will be a big task of AI, but I think in terms of discretion, it's very hard to get AI on that side of things. Um, Use specific numbers, it makes it sound more believable. That's very true, actually. That's very, very true. Because it's like they can't be lying if you use a specific number. Yes, keep updating the program, the software. So pointless as the market conditions change. Just use your natural brain power. Yeah, that's true. That's why I said maybe in like 10 years' time, because the thing with AI is that it can take information in and then it can think with it to a degree. Of course, not think, but sort of think. Because basically, in terms of like bots, what you can do with now is that you have to program the bot, and then the bot will trade based on the program you've given it. With AI, it may be able to be a bit smarter and adapt the program where necessary. So I think that's where the groundbreaking, um, you know, evolution of AI can come in and actually make some big moves in trading. But at the moment, it's very, very basic, really. So the discretion and the brain power you suggested, that that can't really be mimicked, at least at the moment in time now. Who knows, maybe in the future it might be, but it's difficult to do that because you need someone who spent time with the market, because conditions change, like you said, things change in the market, and unless AI can change with it automatically, um, then it's not going to be as useful. What's up, Joe? Welcome to the stream. How often do you live stream shows? I go live every weekday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time, that is. Yeah, tag along, mate. Tag along. Because you said mate, I assume you're in the UK as well. But yeah, we're live every weekday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'll go through a wide range of markets. Anyone's looking at any positions, they can, of course, let me know in the comment section. We'll go through it, chat about it, see what they're looking at. If I'm in any trades, if I'm in any positions, I'll show that as well, and discuss the reason behind it and why I took the trade and anything I'm looking at the moment. So it's pretty much all trading talk with a smidgen of banter in there, of course, just to keep everything glued together. But yeah, feel free to tag along, man. Feel free to tag along. Yeah, that's true. Big moves in the market come through human emotion. Until the day AI comes conscious, can't understand human emotions, unlikely being that effective. Yeah, true. But I think, yeah, because that's the main thing, isn't it? The conscious side of things. If it can think for itself, then yeah, maybe. But I really think with AI, it's whoever develops the best program, really. But I think even with AI, it will go through long periods of drawdown. It will have some really bad moments in the market because it'll be out of tune. Then when things are in tune, it'll make a bunch of profit then. But yeah, I haven't really seen anyone really talk about or trade with AI on a big scale. Of course, they probably use it in some areas of the market, but there's still that kind of human overseeing, overwatching everything, making decisions mainly, and they're kind of using AI to aid things. Of course, you kind of got that with like um, with bots and stuff, robots. Someone pretending to be you in Discord, just a heads up. And yes, I'm in the UK. Okay, so we'll be turning in often. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, if that's the case, just block them. I'll put a notice. I'll put a notice in the Discord chat again about watching out for people. Again, with the Discord, I will never message you and ask for something. If someone's doing that with my name, it's definitely not me. So um, yeah, thank you for letting me know. But I'll put another notice up in the main chat about watching out for people, because it seems to be very often now that people are getting imposters talking to them. Yeah, algorithm type of AI, find liquidity, then pushes price, then we jump in with technicals trying to, yeah, yeah, exactly. I fully agree. I mean, with AI, it could develop a lot in the next 10 years. Uh, so things can change, but in terms of our thinking and our discretion, that is very hard to mimic and very hard to invent as well. So at the time, I think AI is good in terms of just kind of helping out with things, maybe speeding up some process here and there. Maybe. I mean, I don't use it in my trading, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, in terms of the whole package, AI is not quite there yet. But then that comes back to the argument between mechanical trading and discretionary trading, because mechanical trading does have its place in the market. But then again, if you look at some of the mechanical trading systems, they're very, very robust and very, very well put together and tested. I mean, you see some hedge funds with some crazy mathematical equations creating algorithms that trade and make money. But even those algorithms will go through long periods of drawdown as well. So yeah, I think discretion is the easiest way, the best way, especially for a retail trader as well, where you can think on the spot and take things into consideration. I've got my AI 50 SMA. Yeah, at least you got your kit up with your AI. So yeah, going into New Zealand CHF is looking really bearish today. I think that's off the back of the news yesterday. So yeah, with in terms of my personal trading, I'm going to manage both my positions. Aussie Chef still trailed at break even, so the plan is waiting for price to break the low, then I will trail at my stop loss above the high here. Of course, with targets down there. With pound yen, I'm just going to let pound yen do its thing. Really, it's not moving well at the moment. It's breaking above that resistance, so that's just not a good sign. But I've got my stop loss there for a reason. So as I said, I'm just going to wait for price to unfold. Whether it takes my stop or it comes back into profit, we shall see. But I'm just going to let the market do its thing. In terms of any other markets I'm looking at, I think my focus now is just going to be with Aussie dollar. It was with NZD yesterday, but now it's broken through off the back of the interest rates. Aussie dollar is now the USD pair, which looks good to me, or the best, I should say. So again, looking for longs, looking to try and follow this bullish structure of the low, high, low, high. Now looking for that next high low as we come back into these areas. That's where I'll start looking for my confirmations to get long. At the moment, nothing there yet. I kind of want to see price drop one more time, provide me some nice wicks. Then I'll look for some momentum and hopefully find some longs off the back of 0.67 or 0.665. But yeah, I think that's probably where my focus is going to be. I'm not going to get into another yen pair. I already ticked that box with pound yen. Not going to get into any more CHF pairs. I'm ready with Aussie CHF. And as I said, the crosses just aren't looking great right now. So I'm not going to waste my time with the crosses, really. They're just not looking very tradable, although some are moving pretty nice. And yeah, I'm not really looking at the CAD pairs like that either. And then yeah, with the USD pairs, Aussie dollar looks the best. So that's the one I'll be banking on. And I think with the other USD pairs, I'll just keep an eye. But if I do get Aussie, I'll see what I can do. That is a good take on it. If you use AI, I can blame something else. Yeah, it's not your fault. You can always blame it. I mean, the money's gone, so whether it's your fault or not, you know, probably it's not the most important thing, but at least you can deflect it. I'm going to manage the Aussie Chef. Got no other setup, so just let this one run. Yeah, if there's nothing else, then you try and force it as well. You might not have nothing for the rest of the day, but then on Friday you have 3-4 setups potentially to take. And you're looking for a bit of an intraday position anyway. So yeah, I do think for the CHF will likely to push down. I really like that wick on the 4 hour this morning. Really nice wick there, taking out those highs and then closing back bearish. It looks good to me. I like the hourly chart too. So I think there's a good chance we do get back to the low there, and hopefully a lot further, excuse me, as well. But yeah, apart from that, Aussie dollar looks, again, it's a bit awkward as well looking to buy Aussie dollar because I'm selling Aussie CHF. So I'm selling Aussie and buying Aussie at the same time. Doesn't make any sense. But then again, I can do it, to be honest, because this one's a break even. So if we go through both scenarios, if I do buy Aussie dollar and it does go up, I make profit here, and then my Aussie CHF trade probably gets taken out break even. If Aussie dollar doesn't play out and I do take a loss there, then Aussie CHF probably does play out and I take a win there. So either way, because the risk reward is positive, I walk away with a bigger profit. So it's almost like a hedge for the position, really, if I do get the trade. But we'll see. USD is looking pretty strong right now, so I might not get the position. And of course, with pound yen, we'll see how that one goes. Is anyone trading the indices? I haven't really spoke about the indices. NAS is looking pretty bullish. Oh, okay. Looks like NAS is retesting the high there successfully. Still looking for NAS to come back into 2680. Dow Jones, that's just a bit sideways. Same with S&P, but again, relatively looking pretty bullish. I think for the indices in general, upside is where we're likely to push into. How is UK 100 doing? It's looking horrendous still. GR30, what we doing over there? Okay, still holding that area. Still expecting more upside there too. So yeah, generally speaking for the indices, upside still looks the most likely option. Ben, did you say you're long on Aussie CHF or are you looking to buy it? With me with the CHF, they're all still bearish in the higher time frame, so I'm just gonna keep that bias until proven otherwise, really. But yeah, NZD is looking really weak right now. And of course, pound NZD flying is showing that in abundance. Possibly some corrections now look good for some continuations, but I'm not really interested in pound NZD anyway. I should set up that could plan out for next week. But yeah, we are flying there. Okay, you are long. Stops at yesterday's low. Okay, so we got some sellers and some buyers in Aussie CHF. All right, see you tomorrow, Holy One. See you tomorrow. But yeah, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. If I do get into any other positions, I'll let you know in the Telegram, which is linked in the description below. But like I said, I'm just going to keep managing pound yen and Aussie CHF, and then maybe get into Aussie dollar longs. We'll see how that goes. If not, there's not really another market which looks good for me right now. So yeah, I'll probably just sit on those two positions for now, but I'll keep an eye on Aussie dollar. If you guys have enjoyed the stream, please be sure to drop a like on the channel, on the stream. It does really help out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And of course, make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. But guys, really appreciate you tuning in and chatting with me. Like I said, I will be live again tomorrow and the day after. I'm live every weekday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if you're free, pop in, say hello, chat with me. And discuss some charts. So if that is something you're interested in, make sure you check it out tomorrow. And yeah, I'll be live with Trader Nick as well on Thursday as well. So check that stream out too. But guys, thank you so much for coming on. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.